Hi, my name is Garrett Thompson. Welcome to the Dorm Room Sports Podcast. This is episode 14, and we've got a lot to cover up. So lots of signings, lots of trades. We're going to finish off the video with a lot of Leafs talk because there's actually stuff to talk about, and I'm going to be able to stress and put my stress even more. I've done it on Twitter. I'm going to put it out even more in this video about the Marner signing whole thing, and I'm stressed. So we're going to talk about this stuff first, though. Erik Karlsson signs a 9-year, $82 million contract, $11.5 per year. That's a big deal. That is a huge contract. I think that was probably one of San Jose's biggest stress was signing him and getting him figured out. They did, and that's a big key point for them. And I think they're going to be able to really, they're going to lock it down. Absolutely. That's their big asset for sure. Joe Thornton staying. Joe Pavelski, they are saying that his contract's up. I doubt he'll get traded. He's so key there with that team. I think he'll stay. I think every player wants him to stay. He's the captain. The Sharks fans want him to stay. He was deadly in the playoffs when he came back from his injury that was caused from apparent cross check to the head. He was amazing. Obviously it was scary that when he went down, but the call that resulted from him going down was stupid. But anyways, I think he stays. I definitely think he'll stay. I think it would be ludicrous for him to get traded. I don't know what they would do without such a key guy. He's ridiculous on the power play. He's a force. He's one of their main noticeable guys on that team, and they've got a lot of noticeable guys. A lot of sleeper players like Timo Meier. Obviously, they've got their big guys like Brett Burns, and the list goes on. So it's going to be interesting next season for them. They've obviously signed Karlsson. That's a big contract. I'm going to be almost 30 years old when that contract runs out. I'm going to be 29 when that contract runs out. 29 years old, almost 30 when that contract runs out. I will have a life. I don't have one now, but I will have a life when that whole thing ends. I hope, at least. But that's a 9-year contract, $82 million. That's crazy. I mean, he's totally worth it, but that's still crazy. I think about that sometimes. How old would people I would be 30 when that contract runs out. When McDavid signed his contract, I'm going to be 30 when that contract runs out because he signed it last year. So I'm going to be 29, 30 when that contract runs out. It's I don't know why I think about it that way, but I do, and I think it's kind of funny to think about a contract and how old somebody's going to be and how old you'll be when that contract runs out. But let's not talk about it. I'm getting distracted. Other news, Kevin Hayes, Winnipeg to Philadelphia for a 5th-round pick. He goes to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia extends him $7.14 million per year, $54 million contract for 7 seasons. Kevin Hayes had 19 goals and 36 assists for a total of 54 points, 71 games, split between Winnipeg and New York because he was traded at the deadline from New York to Winnipeg. And they thought he was going to be a key piece going into their playoff run. He was, but that wasn't the reason why they lost. They walked into a building that was ran by Jordan Whinnington and Alex Pietrangelo, Ryan O'Reilly, Stanley Cup champion Ryan O'Reilly. Now, Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues, which is ridiculous, which is awesome. Actually, I'm not going to say ridiculous in a good way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Other news, Winnipeg's already been dabbling a little bit more. Jacob Trouba traded to New York for Neil Pionk and a 20th overall pick. 20th overall for Jacob Trouba. Now, this was an interesting trade for them. Neil Pionk and Jacob Trouba, 2 very good players. Neil Pionk, I don't know a lot about him. He's a good tough player. He had a good season this year with New York. Jacob Trouba, obviously key for them. He's one of their Winnipeg's key guys. I was surprised when they traded him. I did some digging around, and they obviously said this in the news, but apparently him getting traded to New York was a big deal because of his family. He had family education things, and I think his wife it was easier for them to move there for school reasons, which is interesting, but it all worked out for him. I think he's going to be a great fit with New York. I think he's going to be a needed player for that team because New York is going, I don't know where they're at. Because I don't know if they're a rebuild. I don't know if they're trying to push off the rebuild, keep the rebuild out of the way. But right now, I would put them into a rebuild. I put them into the same boat as Anaheim. I look at Chicago. I think Chicago is coming out of a rebuild. They were kind of like dynasty, rebuild. Maybe coming out of the thing now. I don't know where they are. Like, I've seen weird rebuilds. I've seen a rebuild that's lasted my entire life, basically, until the last couple of years. Now we just got to get out of the first round. But I'm going to get back to actual news and not go whining and complaining about my team. Winnipeg has other issues as well. Winnipeg signed Hellebuyck, which was a big deal because he's their number one guy. I've had some interesting opinions on Hellebuyck, strictly because there's an issue going around where they're like, is he only good? Is he only like properly good because of his defenseman? And I really thought about that, and I watched some clips. I watched some game highlights. Honestly, no. I think he's really. I think he's good. Like, I think he's a good goalie. I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't have given him a candidate for the Vezina this year, maybe in past years, but he is a good goalie, and I think it's not like his defenseman at all. I think he's a good goaltender. So they signed him to a 6-year deal. That's a big deal. That's out of the way. Now it's Laine. Now Laine, of course, not only was he drafted in the same year as Matthews, and as Matthews is better. Matthews is better, but Laine is just, I don't know who's better, honestly. I say Matthews is better because I'm a Leafs fan, but when you really think about it as a hockey fan, they're close. Now, obviously, I think Matthews is faster. I think Matthews is, in some cases, smarter with the puck. Laine's bigger. Laine's a much bigger body, so he doesn't move as well as Matthews. I think in some cases, Laine has a better shot. Like, Laine's shot is ridiculous. Like, his shot is money. Matthew's shot is obviously absolutely, like, murderous and incredible, but so is Laine's. Laine is going to be asking for Matthew's money, and if they give him any less than $9 million, I'm going to be shocked. Now, what they do, like, if they sign him for any less than $9 million and for any less than 7 years, because, like, 7 years is absolutely needed, especially for the talent that Laine brings. And if he doesn't get Matthews' money, who he's in competition with, and he's put into the same boat as a lot, I think that it's going to be a bit of you're going to be hurting him because he's not, like, you're not giving him the money he deserves, 1. 2, it's not going to look good if you don't sign him to the money he's deserved. And 3, after 6 years, like, you're gonna have this kind of problem again. Obviously, 6 years is still a long time. He's gonna make a lot of money in that time, but sign him long term if you can, and you can do it. You gave up some room with Hayes, I believe. You gave up some room with Hayes. I'd think about that for a second. You gave up some room with Hayes. That's a big deal. You move some money in. That gives you some space to really, like, work with Laine. You've got a lot of your other main guys all locked in already. Like, you're going to be able to do the contract. It's just a matter of when they do it. I don't think it's going to turn into a Leaf situation where there's going to be on the edge of their seat. I think Laine will get given a price, and I think he won't do too much fighting for it. I think they're going to give him good money, and he'll take the good money. I think it'll be fair between both parties. I don't see too much of a struggle. Unlike my next topic, Mitch Marner. Now, Mitch Marner I think I said in another video, I'm not entirely certain. I think I said I'd give Marner, like, they want Marner. Marner wants Matthews' money. He wants Matthews level money, not Matthews' personal money. He wants Matthews' money. He wants Matthews type money. Have we cleared that up? Good. But Marner wants, like, good money. He's worth good money, but to a point. We don't want the Leafs don't want to turn into a Nylander situation. It looks like Marner's camp wants it to turn into a bit of a Nylander situation. Like they're going to be really, really picky. Marner's not going to go anywhere. Recently, there was news that broke today that was talked about last night as well at the NHL Awards per Elliot Friedman. I watched. There's a clip on Sportsnet where they talked about it. It was on the NHL Awards if you watched it. The Leafs want him long term, and they gave him an $11 million per season for 8 years. That was their offer, the apparent offer that they gave him. Now that I found the source. Obviously, the source isn't mine. They found Elliot Friedman said it's $11 million, $11.1 million, $11 million for 8 seasons. That's what the Leafs wanted him. Marner's camp, Marner and Marner's agent want shorter term, so 6 years. Now, that's in and around where Matthews got, but after 6 years, I think he would sign again. He wants the same level of money, so $11 million, but for 6 years. They want him longer term. I think after 6 years, I don't think it would be as much of a battle to sign him again. I don't see a big deal. I honestly see the Leafs accepting a deal very close to that. I don't see them going much farther away. Honestly, when you really think about it, $11.1 million for 6 years, that's $66 million total. My math. But I think it would be smart, and I don't want this to go on. If you're given an option like that, give him $10 million for 6 seasons or 10.5 for 6 seasons or something like that. Just give him something high in Matthews money territory, but also after 6 seasons, if you really think about it, and if he's really passionate to stay here, even after a 6-year contract with that kind of pay, I don't think it would be as much of a fight as this year to sign him again, unless something ludicrous happens within the 6 years. You look at 6 years. You look at the Leafs in 6 years, throughout this next seasons. I would hope they would make it out of the first round. I would be embarrassed as a Leafs fan. And I would be embarrassed for the Leafs and for Leafs Nation if they didn't make it out of the first round in the next 6 years. What are they going to do in the next 6 seasons? Funny point, though, on that kind of making it out of the first round, Matthews made a comment either today or yesterday where he said that it puts more pressure, the Raptors parade puts more pressure on them, and that's what I want. That's what you want to see. Put more pressure. You see the reaction they got? I was down there. May everybody who was involved in the shooting and the stabbing, I hope they're all okay. I hope everybody's recovering well. I heard that everybody was okay. Thank goodness. You're at an event like that. I know this has changed, but I wanted to touch briefly on it anyways. You hope that everybody's okay. There's 60,000 people in that area, 2 million plus that saw the parade. It was an incredible atmosphere. Everybody was so happy. Everybody was incredible. I met Steve Dangle. I was jumping up and down. He liked my post. I was super excited. It was funny. I wanted to make a comment about him being seeing him in a Raptors event rather than a Leafs event, but it was incredible. We interviewed him. He was super, super nice guy. I thought I'd add that in because I was super excited about it, but getting back to it, of course, it was an incredible event. 60,000 people, and that was just a terrible thing that happened. Of course, I believe everybody was okay. I didn't hear anything else. I heard about what had happened. We heard about it we were watching it. I was watching it. I had to go to work, so I couldn't actually see them, which I was kind of upset about, but I couldn't actually see them. But I watched it on Sportsnet was having a live feed, so I watched it, and we heard the news come over the screen. Matt Devlin said that everybody remain calm. There's an investigation. They found the suspects, thank goodness. That is terrible. It's sick what they did. You're at an event, it's supposed to be positive. Something happened. I heard a whole bunch of different stories. There was a fight that broke out and then it turned into that. There was terrible. There's stabbings in the Eaton Center as well, which was awful as well. I hope everybody's okay. I'm going to try to bring it back to positive things now, or bring it back to more hockey related things. I hope everybody's okay. Now we're going to get back to hockey. The Leafs have some other big issues and components that they have to deal with. Get rid of Sparks. Either they're shopping Sparks right now. Thank the Lord. I mean, nothing on him, but oh my goodness. You look at a guy who just won the Calder Cup the previous season. This year, I was just on top of him to try, like, be like, dude, please just play. Like, we know you can play well. Just do it. And he never did. And now they're shopping him, and they need to shop him. Get him out of here or send him back down. We need a backup goalie. The first thing I thought was, bring Reimer back. Why not? Why not? Okay, he had an off year, sure. He had a .903 save percentage this season. That's not great. Sparks had an 8.98 to 900 save percentage. That's not good either. I think Reimer would be a better fit here. I think Reimer played well here. I think he could do that again here. But the reason why they're shopping Reimer is because of the big factor of Bobrovsky possibly going there and Panarin. Bobrovsky, fun fact, put his house up in Columbus for sale, so that just pushed everybody towards even more that he's getting traded. I think Florida would turn into an absolutely disgusting team if they got Bobrovsky, because Bobrovsky is an absolute animal. If they got Panarin as well, oh my Lord, not only Florida making the playoffs, Florida's going to turn into Carolina even better. Carolina's going to make the playoffs next year as well. That is going to be, like, next season, if all goes the way rumors are going this year, next season is going to be wicked to watch. Next playoffs are going to be a banger to watch, and I'm so excited. We have to get through the summer, though, and I'm so not looking forward to it. The summer feels like it's going to go so slowly. Hockey's done already. Now that the Raptors are done too, what are we going to talk about? I can't talk about baseball. I'm going to try to find things, try to make a video a week maybe for everybody talking about something about hockey. Talk something about hockey. I might even make something. I'm going to make something for the trade deadline, for free agency. I'm going to try to make a free agency video, which I'm really excited for free agency. I'm going to do a video based off of the draft, which is tonight actually. The draft is tonight, the 20th. Yes, the 20th. I'm correct. It's the 20th. Tonight's the draft. There's going to be definite trades going on tonight for higher picks. There's a rumor that Zaitsev could go with the draft to Vancouver. Vancouver's shown extreme interest. Who he would get the other way, nobody knows. People are putting, like, Jake Virtanen up for Zaitsev. I mean, come on. That's not, like, that's chirping Virtanen in a way, because Zaitsev isn't Virtanen level. I mean, Virtanen's a good player. Zaitsev is a good player. I don't know if they're at the same level because he's a forward. He's a defenseman. I mean, yeah, there's been trades like that, but in my personal opinion, not necessarily like Zaitsev a bad player, but I don't know what level that is as well. I would trade for a defenseman for a defenseman, or a defenseman for a pick. That's what I would do personally. There's a couple of defensemen I've thought about getting traded for. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up. I'm not really going to talk about it. I'd think like Ben Hutton or somebody like that. Ben Hutton's a good defenseman. I'm not sure of his exact stats on the season, but I think he would be a good fit here. He's a bigger body. He's not a right-handed defenseman with what we would need, but I think he would be a good fit. Maybe, I don't know. That's just an idea. Now, the big problem right now is our UFAs and our RFAs. UFAs obviously unrestricted free agent. RFA is restricted free agent. Our RFAs are Kapanen, Johnsson, and Marner, as I've already talked about. Now, I looked at Kapanen and Johnsson, and I thought about trade and sign. Who would I trade? Who would I sign? Who would I trade? I would trade Johnsson. Now, here's my thing. Johnsson's a great player. Think about who we would get for him. We could get a lot for him, 1. 2, Kapanen's faster than Johnsson. And I was talking to my friend about this, and he made a good point. You can't teach speed. You cannot teach speed, and that's a key point. You can't teach speed. Finally, our unrestricted free agents are Hainsey, Ennis, Gardner, and Marincin. Take Marincin out of there, man. He's gone. Marincin's gone 1. Gardner's gone 2. Gardner, yeah, he's had his moment. He's had his moments where he's been a good player, but get him out of there, man. Gardner and Marincin are gone. Hainsey showed interest to come back. I think he would be good. We've had our moments. I think Leafs Nation has had its moment with Hainsey where they're starting to show some points, especially last season with him and the penalty kill. But he's key. He's key. He's gotten a lot better, and keep him. Ennis, I don't want them to trade Ennis away because Ennis has played great this season when he's played. He's played really well. He was a great fill-in with Matthews when Nylander was tormenting us with his stupid his contract talks. I want Ennis kept. I want Hainsey kept. I want Marincin gone without even thinking about it. And I want Gardner gone. I want those 4 guys gone. I would love to see 3 out of our 5 guys gone. Absolutely. I want to see 3 of our 5 guys gone in trades. Absolutely. Does that track? No, excuse me. 2 of our 4 guys traded. Not 5, 4 of our unrestricted free agents. I want 2 of them traded. And I want the other 2 signed. I want them signed to something. Keep Ennis here. Keep Hainsey here. Hainsey showing interest in coming back. Just keep him. To sum up the video, Kevin Hayes traded to Philadelphia, gets a nice $54 million, 7-year, $7.1 million per contract. Erik Karlsson signs a 9-year, $82 million contract. Big trades. Marner is still tormenting us with what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. I want to see him stay. I think he will stay. Whether or not that's absolutely confirmed. The Leafs their last hope is to trade him. I don't want to think about it. We'll cross that road if we need to get to it. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching and now listening because my camera cut out. Please please subscribe, add up on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.